sign into YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. Now enjoy Cine Talk with the one and only CineBros.
What's up, Cinemaniacs? We are back. We are back, not with another Cine Talk, but we are going with the CinePlops.
CinePlops.
Yes, the CinePlops of 2015.
Who doesn't like a good fart joke?
I was downloading these last night, and I couldn't stop laughing every one I was listening to. Yes, I have that kind of humor. All right, so the CinePlops of 2015.
Every time we say a movie, are we going to do the sound?
We could. There's two different fart noises, so we could alternate. Number 5 on the list for the Chad is...
In the Heart of the Sea.
In the Heart of the Sea.
Oh, my God. We went and saw this together, and we had two totally different... I think kind of two totally different aspects of it.
I didn't love the movie. But
yeah, I know. I hated the movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was so bad.
Came out, tipped over a car in the parking lot.
I just took the car, the Incredible Hulk did. I just threw it up in the air. I was like, that movie was fucking terrible.
He hated so much about it.
Chris Hemsworth was terrible in this movie. His accent was terrible. The accent... I think if I got past the accents, I probably wouldn't have put this on my list. But it made my list only because of the accents. It was so bad. I was excited about this movie too, and it just that's gonna
came out. It was an Oscar bait.
It's kind of be what my list is gonna kind of be like. It's gonna be the worst / disappointments of the year.
All right. My number 5 on this list is Mordecai, and there's so many reasons why it's number. I almost like the weird thing about. I have a weird thing with this movie. It's almost entered in that guilty movie pleasure of mine. It was so bad, but I wanted to like it. I wanted it to be kind of that Pink Panther-esque kind of movie, that Steve Martin did. I was like, they could have done that and done it so well, but they did such a poor job of creating that. And Johnny Depp was just terrible. Gwyneth Paltrow was okay. Paul Bettany was good, but the story was horrible. So Ewan McGregor was in it, and this movie had the ability to do so well. Mm-hmm. And just the story, I don't know how or why these actors signed on to this. It's like, we need star power. We're going to give you whatever you want to be able to come making this movie work. And it was it was horrible.
Throw a couple million at me, I'll make a movie like this.
Oh, it was so bad, so bad. See you later. Number 4 on the list.
Terminator Genesis.
Genesis.
I actually rated this lower than I should have, because only for the fact that I've never seen any of the other Terminators.
Right.
So it might have took away from it a little bit, but this movie was god awful. Him fighting him was horrible. There was just a lot of nothing going on in this, and my roommate is a big Terminator fan.
Dan.
And he actually with 15 minutes left in the movie, he's like, shut the movie off. I don't care what happens at the end. I don't care. He's like, this is the dumbest movie I've seen all year. This was his number 1 worst movie of the year.
Wow.
This is my number 4.
Wow.
It was bad.
It didn't make my list. It wasn't even close to making the worst. I saw a lot of movies this year. So
me too, but this was right up there.
All right. Number 4 on my list, The Extraction. Or it's Extraction with Kellen Lutz and Mr. Bruce Willis, who does another great job of phoning in a performance. And then you also got Gina Carano, who has proven that she still cannot act. So incredibly bad. Such a bad movie. The action was the only redeeming quality. The acting, unfortunately, was so bad between the chemistry with Kellen Lutz and Bruce Willis, the chemistry between Kellen Lutz and Gina Carano, everything. The villains were actually okay.
Yeah.
A couple of the villains were okay in the movie, but overall, this movie, I was watching... The only reason why I watched this is because I needed to get to 75 movies at the end of the year, and it was like an 85-minute movie. Yeah. And I don't know how you can make an 85-minute movie. It seemed like it was 3 hours long. It was so bad. 2 good action sequences. Everything else just complete stank. Stank. All right.
I've never even heard of that movie.
Yeah, it was in and out of the theater in probably 4 minutes. They were like, this was a total mistake.
They had one showing.
They replaced it with Gem and the Holograms. That's how bad this movie was. So, all right, we'll move on to number 3.
Oh man, another
Your
Chris
boy.
Hemsworth.
Somebody that
Toxic.
Chad does not have a crush on is Chris Hemsworth. No man crush there.
So my number 3 is Blackhat. It was like one of the first movies to come out this year.
Yep.
And it was god awful. And I was so excited about seeing it because it looked like an interesting movie from the trailers.
Yeah.
And Michael
Action-packed.
Michael Mann was director, and I liked some of his movies. And I don't know much about Chris Hemsworth because I don't watch him in the superhero movies that he's in. so I was a little excited about it, and it looked like it was going to be a lot of action in it. And you know what? There was no action in it. There was just a lot of computer jargon in it, and it was just bad.
Yeah.
No
swordfish, that's for sure.
I highly don't recommend this movie.
All right, is it 3 for me? Number 3 on my list is Transporter Refueled. Now, you know how I said that action kind of saved the extraction? The action, I can see how, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now, but I can see Ed Skrein. I can see how he could do action extremely well, and I'm hoping that we get that in the Deadpool movie that's coming out in just a month.
Yeah.
But the action sequences in this movie looked like they were filmed, I don't know, like off a camcorder, and the director was just like flail about and hit people. It was so incredibly awful. The car, like they didn't even really glorify the car, which is like the most important part. It's like the supporting character in these movies. They didn't even do that. It was just a terrible, terrible movie, and I do not want to see another Transporter movie, especially with Ed Skrein. Jason Statham might be able to save it, but I lost interest after the first Transporter movie. I know they're cheap to make. They don't cost a lot, so they do okay financially. I can't imagine this one did. The best part of this movie was Ed Skrein's father.
Yeah.
He was the best part of the movie. The girls, you could throw them out. They were nothing. It's just horrible. Horrible, horrible, terrible, terrible, terrible.
Terrible, as Charles Barkley
I got to
would
get that
say.
sound bite. That's what I got to
Yeah,
get.
we need to get sound bites, man.
Terrible, terrible. I have a bunch, but it's just tough to, when you don't use them often, it's tough to.
We definitely need that Charles Barkley one for these movies.
Terrible, terrible. All right, so we're going to go on to Chadwick's number 2, right?
All right, yes, number 2. I'm going to get a lot of heat for this.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. So I might get some heat for this, but I'm going to explain myself.
Okay.
I went into this movie thinking that it was going to be movie of the year, and it's not. All right, so
according to the Chad,
the performances were awesome in this movie.
Yeah.
Leo was not even the best one in this movie.
The bear?
The bear was Tom Hardy I thought was definitely one of the best performances in this movie, and Domhnall Gleeson was one of the greatest, and he didn't have a big role, but he had a really good role, and he was really good in it. The movie itself had a total of 3 good scenes, 2 at the beginning and 1 at the very end, and it was about an hour and 45 minutes of Leo crawling on the ground, making noises. I'm telling you, it was bad. I don't know how anybody said this movie was good. Me and Dan and about 5 people around us were all disappointed. Like, it was that bad.
I can't wait to see it.
I know. You're gonna like it because it's Leo.
It's not true. I haven't liked everything.
And I'm telling you, Leo was good in this movie. You can tell he wants an Oscar in this movie.
Yeah.
But the movie itself was
I haven't
bad.
liked everything Leo's done.
And and obviously he did I think he should win Director of the Year.
In order to?
Yes, because the movie, how it was shot and the way it looks was awesome. Okay. I'm just talking about the story.
Well, that's a cinematographer.
Yeah.
He's probably going to win.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Is this third in a row? Third in a row?
I'm just saying the story itself was not that good.
All right.
Well, it was dragged out.
All right. So for my number 2 is Taken 3. This was... I have a lot of action movies in here because I feel like you can do action very well, and a lot of people do action very well.
Yep.
This is everything bad in an action movie that you've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Like the storyline, terrible. The action sequences were shaky cam, and to the point of where like the guy it didn't even seem like he knew what he was filming. It was so awful. And Liam Neeson, he did his typical, Taken, role, but he did it to an even like worst level. I can't even. This movie just makes me so angry because the first Taken was so well done, almost to that horror gangster kind of vibe where you're just like wondering how he's going to get out of this, how he's going to save his daughter, and all that kind of stuff. But in this one, you're just kind of like, it starts off pretty good. The story starts off pretty good, and then just falls apart in the first act. It fell apart and never recouped, ever. I'm glad it ends here. I'm so glad it ends here. And I hope that they never try and tackle this franchise ever again, because it was horrendous. If they do, give it 10, 15, 20 years to take a breather and then try it with somebody new, because this movie was...
He's not coming. He's done with action movie, isn't he?
Well, we'll see.
He's going to romance, isn't he?
We'll see. We'll see what he does, because, when those checks stop showing up, they all kind of make their decisions. Like Vin Diesel does and tries to do a bunch of different things. What happens? I'm going to go back to Furious.
I'm going to go back to Furious.
Same thing. Ice Cube, all that kind of stuff. You have everybody, all these actors that, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, they just go back to the well. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Chaz, number 1.
Number 1, worst movie of the year, hands down.
Can I get a fart noise?
Hands down. Give me that fart noise, because this deserves it. Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland.
What a god-awful piece of I'm not allowed to swear. So
I swore once. So
okay, so I can say it?
Yeah.
It was a piece of This movie was god-awful. It was supposed to be so good.
Yeah.
And George Clooney.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I gave it, I think a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, you were one of the few that liked it.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah. I was just very disappointed in it, and it was just it's such a downer, because it could have been such a great movie, and they just didn't do it correctly.
All right.
And
my number 1. Yeah, that was a complete stinker. Seventh Son. Now, we all have seen Jeff Bridges do his True Grit, kind of mumbling, bumbling, can't understand a word that he's saying, acting style. That's what he's stuck with since that movie. Yeah. He hasn't tried anything new. That one of did he win an Oscar for that? Was he a supporting character? Yeah, he might have won, or he was at least nominated. But so like this is that, but not as effective. The chemistry that he had with the kid at the very beginning was pretty good, but it was totally lost after about 5 minutes into the movie.
Yep.
You have the best actress from last year. Best actress from last year. And what does she do? Julianne Moore puts out a crap performance. Alicia Vikander, who's in this movie, she is nominated for Best Supporting Actress this year. She should have been nominated for a Razzie for her performance in this movie. Everything was crap about this movie. The CG, the action, everything. They had one good scene with CG work where he was fighting a bear. That was decent, but the bear still looked like a cartoon freaking. It's like he was fighting a gummy bear. It was so bad. That wasn't that bad, but it was really bad.
Like the cartoon gummy bears, or just like a...
Yes,
okay.
It was that bad. It was so incredibly awful. This movie was my complete... I saw this early in the year. I don't know how people are saying that Jupiter Ascending was worse than this, because I saw Jupiter Ascending and Seventh Son same night with my brother. This movie was a complete pile of garbage. Stinky.
Do you think it's because Jupiter Ascending is like more of a popular movie, like
with
more popular stars? I mean, I know Jeff Bridges is a popular star, but
Eddie Redmayne won for last year, for his Academy Award. Stephen Hawking. So you have that. You have Mila Kunis, who's kind of a popular hot girl that's in there. You have Alicia Vikander wasn't really known when this movie came out. This came out before Ex Machina, and then you also have. You have Julianne Moore and Jeff Bridges, but this was actually filmed a couple years ago, and they just haven't been able to find a spot to release it because they knew it was crap.
Yeah.
And Jupiter Ascending, I think it was the Wachowski brothers who did that movie, which there's a lot of promise about them.
Yeah.
So you have, or I should say the Wachowski siblings now. They have that movie was there, and they have all that Matrix kind of, aura to them, trying to see if they were going to come back. And I actually didn't mind that movie. I thought it was a lot better than this and flowed a lot better. But man, Seventh Son was a pile of garbage. So bad. It Ugh. Yeah, exactly. That's a good soundbite right there. All right, so if you haven't already, you know our email address, which is the CineBros@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/the CineBros. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/the Movie House Maniacs. Chad has a new podcast coming out soon, and it's going to be a vlog, a V-pod, whatever you want to call it, V-cast, whatever you want to call it. And it's called Breaking for Movies. That's going to be coming out very soon. I think it's going to be debuting next week.
Maybe 2 weeks.
Maybe two weeks.
Yep.
And they're going to be coming out two a week for a little while, and then they're going to start debuting every Tuesday. Right?
Every Tuesday. Yep.
So we have some of those coming out soon. You'll be able to find those on the channel. Obviously, we're still doing CineTalk. We actually might be doing a little bit of remote location as well, so we can do stuff more often, like maybe some trailer reviews and all that kind of stuff. Brian, he's going to have his own desk that we're going to be working with, so he has some stuff that he's willing to, try and feel this out.
Nice.
Maybe get some more stuff being more relevant with the upcoming news.
Is this a new thing? Is this something we're doing now?
Yeah.
We're going to add this into it?
Oh, Jesus. All right, well, you guys, thank you for watching, and we will see you guys at the movies soon. Hopefully not seeing a CinePlops.
Or seeing it.
If you watch the show on YouTube, please click that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching.
Turrible, crazy knuckleheaded Turrible.